For 10 long years, I lived with sciatica pain so fierce it brought me to tears on my first step out of bed, on my lunch break at work, even in the middle of the night when I couldn't sleep. Every movement felt like electricity shooting down my leg. Doctors offered pills that masked the pain for hours, but didn't fix the real problem. Physical therapy helped for a while. Then the flare-ups came roaring back. I nearly gave up hope until I discovered a 5-pillar approach that finally set me free. Today I'm pain-free and I'm sharing exactly how I did it. If you've ever felt trapped by sciatica, hit that like button and stay with me. You deserve relief. Sciatica isn't just back pain, it's nerve pain, specifically inflammation or compression of your sciatic nerve, the longest nerve in your body. Originating in your lower spine, it weaves through your glutes and down the back of each leg, all the way to your feet. When that nerve gets irritated, whether by a slipped disc, tight muscles, or spinal degeneration, it sends sharp, shooting pain down your leg. You might also feel numbness, tingling, or a burning sensation. Some days it's a dull ache. Other days it's like getting an electric jolt every time you stand up. Many people assume sciatica will resolve on its own, or that it's only a weak back issue. But because it's a nerve problem, resting too much can actually make it worse. Your muscles weaken, your spine stiffens, and the nerve stays aggravated. Over the next 2 minutes, I'll break down exactly how this nerve works, why we often get stuck in a cycle of pain, and what the 3 most common causes are, so you can spot what's fueling your own sciatica and start taking control. Your sciatic nerve starts in your lumbar spine, where the 5 spinal nerve roots, L4, S3, merge. It passes under, or in about 15% of people through, the piriformis muscle in your buttock, then travels down the back of your thigh, branching at your knee to power muscles in your lower leg and foot. Nerve conduction and support healthy discs between vertebrae, absorb shock and maintain spacing so nerve roots exit freely. Surrounding muscles, core, glutes, hamstrings, stabilize your spine, preventing undue compression. Adequate blood flow keeps the nerve sheath nourished and resilient. Why the pain cycle persists: compression. Inflammation. A herniated disc or tight muscle pinches the nerve, triggering an immune response that causes swelling and sensitizes pain receptors. Pain. Guarding, you subconsciously protect the affected area, limiting movement, shifting posture, which weakens core and glute muscles. Weakness and imbalance. As muscles atrophy, your spine loses stability, leading to further compression. Stiffness and scar tissue. Lack of movement causes adhesion and reduced nerve gliding, perpetuating irritation. This loop, pinch, inflame, guard, weaken, pinch again, becomes a self-reinforcing cycle if not addressed on multiple fronts. The 3 most common triggers: herniated, slipped disc. Disc nucleus pushes out through a tear in the annulus, directly compressing the nerve root. Piriformis syndrome. The piriformis muscle spasms or tightens around the sciatic nerve, often from prolonged sitting or repetitive strain. Spinal stenosis. Age-related narrowing of the spinal canal reduces space for nerve roots, especially when you stand or walk. Understanding these mechanisms is crucial. It's why simply masking pain with pills or isolated stretches rarely leads to lasting relief. We need to restore nerve mobility, reduce inflammation, rebuild supporting muscles, and correct posture all at once. In the next section, I'll share exactly how I tackled each of these fronts through a 5-pillar approach that finally broke the cycle for good. I still remember the exact moment it all began. I was 32, bending down to tie my left sneaker before a weekend hike. Suddenly, a searing bolt of pain shot through my lower back, down the back of my leg and into my calf. I gasped, froze, and almost collapsed. I'd never experienced anything like it. An electric shock that stole my breath and left me gasping for air on the kitchen floor. In that first year, I saw 3 different doctors. The first prescribed anti-inflammatory pills and muscle relaxers, which dulled the pain but left me groggy and unfocused. The second sent me to physical therapy, where I learned gentle, core-strengthening exercises and stretches. But every time I thought I was making progress, a flare-up would knock me back to square one. The third suggested corticosteroid injections straight into my spine. The relief was dramatic but short-lived. Within a few months, the pain returned, often worse than before. Between years 2 and 5, my life felt like an endless roller coaster. I'd have a few weeks of good days, walking the dog without grimacing, sleeping through the night, even returning to the hiking trails I loved. Then without warning, a sudden twist, a long drive, or even one night of poor sleep would trigger a brutal relapse. Kneeling to pick up a dropped pen, or worse, getting up from my office chair after a long workday, could send me hobbling for days. Social plans evaporated. Vacations turned into anxiety-ridden battles to manage pain and find accessible activities. During those middle years, I tried every miracle cure the internet promoted. Chiropractic adjustments that sometimes gave me a temporary pop and a few hours of relief, but never lasting change. Acupuncture, which soothed my nerves in the moment, yet couldn't keep the sciatica from creeping back into my life. Massage therapy, which, while blissful, only addressed the surface tension, never the root cause deep within my spine. Emotionally, I felt trapped. I was terrified that every movement might send me reeling into pain again. I started to believe that I'd never be free. Years of setbacks had worn down my optimism. By year 6, my worst fears came true. I hit the lowest point. A weekend family reunion turned into a nightmare. 50 yards of walking left me doubled over, tears in my eyes, unable to keep up with my 2 young kids. I remember staring at my shoes, ashamed that I couldn't even stand upright for more than a minute. Doctors told me my discs showed early degeneration. My muscles had atrophied from disuse, and my posture had become so compromised that my spine was now putting constant pressure on the nerve root. That night, I lay awake, listening to the sounds of my family laughing in the next room, feeling utterly defeated. I realized that none of the quick fixes or one-size-fits-all treatments had worked because I was looking for a magic bullet. Instead of attacking the problem from every angle, movement, nutrition, nerve support, posture, and stress management, I'd been taking each piece in isolation. That realization was the turning point. I resolved, I'm not going to let sciatica define me for another day. I committed to building a sustainable, multi-layered approach, one that addressed not just the symptom, but the underlying imbalances that fueled my pain cycle. In the next section, I'll walk you through the 5 pillars of the holistic strategy that finally broke my decade-long struggle and how each piece fit together to deliver the permanent relief I'd been chasing for 10 years. After 10 years of chasing quick fixes, I realized there was no single miracle cure. True, lasting relief would require a full-body approach, one that addressed every factor keeping my sciatic nerve trapped in a cycle of pain. I distilled my research and trial and error into 5 foundational pillars: movement and stretching to restore flexibility and relieve nerve pressure, targeted nutrition to fight inflammation from the inside out, supplementation to bridge gaps and provide specific nerve support, posture and ergonomics to prevent daily micro-traumas that aggravate the nerve, mind-body techniques to manage stress which can amplify pain signals. Rather than dabbling in each area once and then giving up when results lagged, I committed to a structured routine combining all 5 pillars every single day. It's like building a house, I thought. You can't just hammer in a few nails and call it a day. You need a solid foundation supporting beams, insulation, and a sturdy roof. That shift from fragmented treatments to a cohesive system was the game changer. Over the next 3 minutes, I'll preview how each pillar contributes to breaking the sciatica cycle. Then we'll dive deeper into the specifics of implementing them so you can replicate my success. Pillar 1. Movement and stretching keeps the sciatic nerve mobile and your spine supple, preventing adhesions that lock the nerve in place. Pillar 2. Nutrition floods your body with antioxidants and healthy fats, quelling chronic inflammation at its source. Pillar 3. Supplements deliver targeted nutrients like curcumin and B vitamins to calm nerve irritation and support repair. Pillar 4. Ergonomics rewires your daily posture, ensuring your spine stays aligned and your nerve pathways remain clear. Pillar 5. Mind-body work rewires your pain perception, teaching your nervous system to relax instead of overreact. Stick around because I'll share exactly what exercises I did, the meals I ate, the supplements I took, and the small tweaks that made a massive difference. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete blueprint to reclaim your life from sciatica just like I did. Pillar 1. Movement and stretching. Consistent, gentle movement was the first breakthrough in my recovery. For years, I feared that any exercise would trigger another flare-up. But the right stretches and low-impact activities actually relieve pressure on the sciatic nerve and rebuild support muscles. Here's the routine I swear by: piriformis stretch. Why it helps. The piriformis muscle sits directly over the sciatic nerve in many people. Tightness here can squeeze the nerve. How to do it? Lie on your back with knees bent. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh just above the knee. Gently pull your left thigh toward your chest until you feel a stretch in your right glute. Hold for 30 seconds, then switch sides. Reps, 2 sets per side. Hamstring nerve glide. Why it helps. Promote smooth movement, gliding, of the sciatic nerve along its pathway. How to do it. Lie on your back and straighten your left leg up toward the ceiling, keeping the knee soft. Flex your foot toward you, toes toward your head, and hold for 3 seconds. Point your toes away and lower the leg slightly, without pain. Repeat 10 glides per side. Cat-cow mobilization. Why it helps. Increases spinal flexibility, reducing stiffness that can pinch nerve roots. How to do it. Start on hands and knees. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest and tailbone, cow. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin and pelvis, cat. Move slowly with your breath, 10 rounds. Child's pose with side reach. Why it helps. Gently stretches the low back and glutes, opening space around the sciatic nerve. How to do it. From hands and knees, sit back onto your heels and stretch your arms forward. Walk your hands to the right to feel a stretch along your left flank and low back. Hold 30 seconds, then walk hands to the left. Repeat 2 times per side. Low-impact cardio, walking progression. Why it helps, keeps blood flowing, strengthens postural muscles, and promotes nerve nutrition. How to start. Week 1, 5 minutes per day at a comfortable pace. Each subsequent week, add 1 minute until you reach 30 minutes daily. Swimming or water aerobics, why it helps. Buoyancy removes gravitational load, allowing you to move pain-free while strengthening core and hip muscles. Tip: aim for 2 sessions per week, focusing on gentle kicks and backstroke to engage the entire posterior chain. Key points: move daily, even if just for 5 minutes. Never push into sharp pain. Mild discomfort is okay, but pain is a signal to ease off. Consistency beats intensity. Daily gentle movement builds resilience. Next, we'll dive into the nutrition changes that supercharged my body's ability to heal and dramatically reduce inflammation. While movement lays the groundwork, what you eat fuels your body's healing or sabotages it. I overhauled my diet to flood my system with anti-inflammatory nutrients and minimize foods that trigger flare-ups. Emphasize omega-3 fatty acids. Why? EPA and DHA from omega-3s reduce inflammation by blocking pro-inflammatory chemicals. Sources: fatty fish, wild-caught salmon, sardines, mackerel. Aim for 2 servings week. Plant-based: chia seeds, flax seeds, walnuts. Add a tablespoon to smoothies or oatmeal. Load up on colorful produce. Why? Berries, leafy greens, and cruciferous veggies are rich in antioxidants, polyphenols, that neutralize free radicals driving nerve inflammation. Daily targets: 1 cup each of berries, blueberries, strawberries. 2 cups leafy greens, spinach, kale. 1 cup cruciferous veggies, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. Incorporate turmeric and ginger. Why? Curcumin in turmeric and gingerols exhibit potent anti-inflammatory properties, similar to some NSAIDs. How to use golden milk. Simmer 1 cup milk, dairy or plant-based, with 1 teaspoon turmeric, pinch of black pepper to boost absorption, and honey to taste. Grate fresh ginger into stir-fries or tea. Limit pro-inflammatory foods. What to avoid: processed sugars and high-fructose corn syrup in sodas, sweets. Trans fats, found in many fried and packaged foods. Excessive nightshades, tomatoes, peppers if you notice sensitivity. Test elimination for 2 weeks. Stay hydrated. Why? Adequate water supports disc hydration and nutrient delivery to nerves. Goal: at least half your body weight in lbs ounces per day. E.g., 150 pounds person, 75 ounces water. Personal game changer. Addition: after months of moderate progress, I added tart cherry juice, 8 ounces each morning. The anthocyanins reduced my morning stiffness and gave me an extra hour of pain-free mobility. Key points: focus on whole unprocessed foods. Balance macronutrients: lean protein, healthy fats, complex carbs. Small tweaks compound. Switching your afternoon snack from chips to walnuts cuts inflammatory markers. Next up, the supplements that filled the gaps in my diet and delivered targeted nerve comfort support. Pillar 3. Supplementation. Even the healthiest diet can leave gaps, especially when you're targeting stubborn nerve inflammation. Carefully chosen supplements became the secret weapon that bridged those gaps and gave my sciatic nerve real relief. Here's exactly what I took. Magnesium glycinate, 400 milligrams nightly. Roll promotes muscle relaxation, calms nerve firing, and improves sleep quality. Why glycinate? Highly absorbable, gentle on the stomach. Vitamin D3 plus K2, 2000 IU D3 plus 100 micrograms K2 daily. Role: D3 supports bone health and immune regulation. K2 directs calcium into bones, preventing arterial calcification. Note: many adults are deficient, which can worsen inflammation and musculoskeletal pain. AlphaCur registered trademark nerve comfort formula. Why it stands out: curcumin phytosome. Delivers highly bioavailable curcumin to quell deep-seated inflammation. B-complex vitamins, B1, B6, B12, essential for nerve sheath repair and neurotransmitter balance. Herbal extracts, for example, Boswellia, ginger, synergistic anti-inflammatory action. Personal experience: within 2 weeks, the midday shooting pains that used to jar me awake were noticeably reduced. Consistent use for 6 weeks led to sustained relief. No more zaps down my leg when I reached or twisted. Turmeric with black pepper extract, 500 milligrams curcuminoids. Why? Amplifies your anti-inflammatory arsenal. Black pepper, piperine, increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. Omega-3 fish oil, 1,000 milligrams EPA/DHA. Why? Reinforces dietary omega-3s, ensuring you consistently hit therapeutic levels. Best practices for supplementation. Consistency: take your stack at the same time daily. I do mine with breakfast. Quality matters. Look for third-party tested brands with transparent sourcing. Cycle and monitor. After 3 months, reassess your needs. Work with a healthcare professional to adjust dosages. By combining these supplements with my diet and movement routine, the inflammation around my nerve finally started to subside, allowing me to progress to more demanding stretches and exercises without fear. Up next, how I overhauled my posture and ergonomics to make every moment, from sitting at my desk to sleeping in bed, part of the healing process. Pillar 4. Posture and ergonomics. Even with movement, nutrition, and supplements dialed in, I still experienced micro-traumas simply from daily posture habits. Slouching at my desk, hunching over my phone, and sleeping in positions that compressed my lower back night after night. Overhauling my ergonomics plugged those unseen leaks in my recovery. Workspace setup: chair and desk. Height: chair height should allow your feet to rest flat on the floor, knees at a 90 degrees angle. Desk height should position your elbows at or just above your desk surface, also at about 90 degrees. Lumbar support: use a small cushion or lumbar roll to maintain the natural inward curve of your lower spine. Monitor position: top of the screen at eye level to avoid craning your neck. 20-30 inches from your face, about arm's length. Daily posture checks: set a timer or use an app to remind you every 30 minutes to stand tall, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Roll your shoulders back and down to open your chest. Engage your core lightly as if bracing for a gentle punch to the stomach. Proper sitting technique: sit back fully in your chair so your back is supported. Avoid crossing legs for long periods. This tilts your pelvis and twists your spine. If possible, switch between sitting and standing every 45 minutes. Sleep ergonomics: best position for sciatica: on your back. Place a pillow or rolled towel under your knees to reduce lumbar curve. Fetal position: lying on your side with knees drawn slightly toward your chest relieves nerve tension. Mattress and pillow: a medium firm mattress supports spinal alignment without sinking. A contoured pillow supports the natural curve of your neck. Daily habits beyond the desk phone. Use: hold your phone at eye level instead of bending your neck forward, tech neck. Car ergonomics: adjust the seat so your hips are level or slightly above your knees. Use a small lumbar roll if your seat lacks built-in support. Laundry and household chores: bend at the hips, hip hinge, with a straight back rather than bending from your waist when lifting or folding. By committing to these ergonomic tweaks, I eliminated numerous invisible stressors that had kept my sciatic nerve on edge. Every hour, every night's sleep, and every household chore became part of my healing routine rather than a setback. Pillar 5. Mind-body techniques. Chronic pain isn't just physical. It's deeply tied to how your brain perceives and processes pain signals. High stress and anxiety can amplify discomfort, creating a vicious loop. Pain raises stress, stress heightens pain sensitivity, and so on. Integrating mind-body practices helped me break this loop. Guided breathing. 4-7-8 technique. Why it helps: activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest mode. How to do it: inhale quietly through your nose for a count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 7. Exhale forcefully through your mouth for a count of 8. Repeat 4 cycles, 2-3 times daily or whenever pain spikes. Progressive muscle relaxation. Why it helps: releases unconscious muscle tension that can worsen nerve compression. How to do it: lie comfortably and focus on your toes. Squeeze them tightly for 5 seconds, then release. Move progressively up your body. Feet, calves, thighs, glutes, abdomen, chest, arms, shoulders, neck, face, tensing and releasing each group. Total time, approximately 10 minutes, ideally before bed. Mindfulness meditation, why it helps. Teaches non-judgmental awareness of pain, reducing emotional reactivity. How to start. Find a quiet spot. Sit comfortably and focus on your breath. When thoughts or pain sensations arise, acknowledge them without judgment, then gently return focus to breathing. Aim for 5 minutes a day. Use an app or timer to guide you. Visualization and positive self-talk, why. Engaging your brain's healing pathways can reduce perceived pain. Technique. Visualize a soothing warm light flowing from your lower back down your leg, relaxing every nerve fiber. Repeat affirmations. With every breath, I release tension from my nerve, or my body is strong and healing. By blending these mind-body methods with the physical pillars, I dismantled the mental blocks that kept me stuck. Instead of fearing each twinge, I learned to observe it, breathe through it, and let it pass. Transforming sciatica from an unpredictable enemy into a manageable part of my wellness routine. Stay tuned for a bonus section where I share small but powerful lifestyle hacks that turbocharged my recovery. Before we recap, here are a few extra habits that supercharged my progress. Simple tweaks you can start today. Choose supportive footwear swap. Flimsy flip-flops or high heels for shoes with good arch support and cushioning. A slight heel, around 1 inch, can reduce pressure on your lower back and sciatic nerve. Daily self-massage. Use a lacrosse or tennis ball to roll out tight glutes and piriformis. Sit against a wall, place the ball under your glute and gently shift your weight, 20 seconds per spot. This breaks up adhesions and enhances nerve glide. Heat and cold therapy. Combo. After stretching or exercise, apply a heating pad for 10 minutes to relax muscles. Follow with a 5-minute ice pack wrap to reduce any acute inflammation. Stay socially active. Isolation and stress can magnify pain. Join a local walking group or online community for people managing sciatica. Accountability and shared tips make a big difference. Weekly reset routine. Once a week, block out 30 minutes for a mini self-care session. 5 minutes breathing exercises, 15 minutes of targeted stretches, and 10 minutes of journaling about your progress. Celebrating small wins keeps you motivated. Let's summarize the 5 pillars that broke my decade-long sciatica cycle. Movement and stretching. Daily targeted stretches and low-impact cardio keep your nerve mobile and your spine supported. Nutrition. An anti-inflammatory diet rich in omega-3s, antioxidants, and hydration fuels healing. Supplementation. A strategic stack, magnesium glycinate, vitamin D3 plus K2, AlphaCur registered trademark, turmeric, and fish oil, bridged gaps and calmed nerve irritation. Posture and ergonomics. Proper workstation setup, posture checks, and sleep positions prevent daily microtraumas. Mind-body techniques. Breathing, progressive relaxation, and mindfulness rewired my pain perception, reducing flare-ups. Plus, lifestyle hacks. Supportive shoes, self-massage, heat-cold therapy, community support, and weekly resets amplified my results. If you commit to each pillar step by step, you'll build a fortress against sciatica. I know it works because it worked for me. After 10 years of relentless pain, I'm finally free. Which pillar resonates with you the most? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your journey. If this video helped, please like, share, and subscribe for more senior health breakthroughs every day. And if nerve discomfort still lingers, check the link in the description for AlphaCur R, the formula that brought lasting relief to my life. Thanks for watching, and here's to pain-free days ahead.